Hello, my name is Goran, and welcome to another video segment that I like to call Lupus in Fabula. Today we are going to talk about similarities and differences between wolf or direwolf warging in George R. R. Martin series A Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones series, and wolf shapeshifting in mythologies, primarily in Slavic folklore. So don't go anywhere, this is going to be interesting. Hopefully. In George R. R. Martin series, humans can shapeshift into other animals, but wolves are, as it was mentioned in Dance with Dragons, different. They are harder to slip into, but if you do, the bond between the two of you is stronger than with any other animal. As Hagen says in a prologue of Dance with Dragons, wolves were harder. A man might befriend a wolf, even break a wolf, but no man could truly tame a wolf. Wolves and women wed for life. You take one, that's a marriage. The wolf is part of you from that day on, and you are part of him. Both of you will change. In Bulgaria, for instance, there is a belief which states that if a wolf and man were born on the same day, they will die at the same time as well. Wolf always played a significant role in Slavic mythology. The magical practice of the Slavs is connected to wolves as well, whether it's about protection rituals, astral or ethereal projection, or rituals for the cult of the ancestors. According to Veselin Čekanović, the wolf is the mythical ancestor of the Serbian people. The belief that the wolf is animalistic ancestor of Serbs manifested itself in many traditions and ceremonies. For instance, when a son is born, the announcement of his birth in the village would go like this: "Of the she-wolf, a wolf is born." All of this goes to show how strong was, and maybe still is, connection between people and wolves, and that connection, which I think is similar to the bond between direwolves or any wolves and humans in A Song of Ice and Fire, is something I will focus on in this video. In legends and myths and tales, often there are a lot of variations, a lot of overlapping of stories. So in this case, we must take into account that sometimes in some stories and customs of Slavic people, wolves, werewolves and vampires were the same creature. In Montenegro and Dalmatia, they actually called vampires wolves. They believed that when a person rises from the grave, he or she turns into wolf. In some cases, just the soul of the deceased may enter wolf. That part of the belief is more closer to the warging ability in A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones, where, as it seems, person only takes control of the mind of the direwolf while their body remains the same. Wolf is in Slavic folklore in some oral narratives related to or even identified with death. There is one narration from the middle of the 19th century in Lonya, a Croatian Posavlje, that describes how death comes upon sinners. When a sinful man is dying, death rushes to him on dragon's wings. Following it permanently are 6 dire hounds, hungry like the grey wolf in the woods. When it arrives at the house, it sits down on the fence and gapes like a vainglorious wolf. The man gasps, his soul appears from his mouth, the hounds grab it, and in the sack it goes. There is a great article on associations of wolves with death and the world of the dead by Peter Plus. I will put the link in the description if you want to read it. You can, although this one is a bit of a stretch, connect this Slavic association of wolves with death with wolf dreams in Martin series. There we find usually Starks having dreams in which they are direwolves. So far we haven't seen all the Stark children using the warg ability, although according to him all the children have it to one extent or another. Bran and Arya are said to be the strongest wargs, Jon with them there, of course. It is unclear from all versions of the belief in Slavic mythology whether all humans have a potential to become wolves after death, or is it reserved specially for sinners, as we found out from that earlier mentioned narrative. In that case, turning into wolf, or appearance of wolf as death itself, was considered as a sort of punishment. Whereas in Game of Thrones, when Starks are warging, they usually do it as it seems to connect with one another, or try to anyway. Take this part for example from Clash of Kings, where Jon has a wolf dream. When he closed his eyes, he dreamed of direwolves. The forest was vast and cold, and they were so small, so lost. His brothers were out there somewhere, and his sister, but he had lost their scent. He sat on his haunches and lifted his head to the darkening sky, and his cry echoed through the forest, a long, lonely, mournful sound. A few chapters later, Arya, when she was trying to figure out how to escape Harrenhal, heard a howl, far, far off, beyond the Godswood, and the haunted towers and the immense stone walls of Harrenhal. From somewhere out in the world came the long, lonely howl of the wolf. Not only bond between brothers and sisters in the Stark family is important in the context of their warging abilities, but also, I think, connection to the old gods, as we saw from that previous quote. She was asking guidance from the old gods, and after that, in her sleep, that same night, she could warg Nymeria for the first time. After slow fading of the magic in that world and almost being completely forgotten, Martin had put, I believe, warging and direwolves in general as a sort of guardians of the border between old and new ways. In a similar way as it was analyzed by Ljubinko Radenkovic in his investigation of the symbolic world model of South Slavic folk magic, wolf in the beliefs of South Slavs is linked to the border between two worlds, human and the wild, and, as Radenkovic points out, deviant individuals who did not succeed in making the transition to the other world can turn into him, as can those who have the magical power of metamorphosis. Although there is no doubt that there are some differences between the old beliefs of Slavic people and the world that George R. R. Martin had created, the importance of wolves or direwolves and their connection with humans included in both worlds is something I found interesting. I hope you will too. That's all for now. Thank you for watching.